Welcome to the Unbreakable series, episode 8, Lockdown 2.0. Let's go.
Now, let me update you on the coronavirus. The US remains the epicenter of the pandemic. It now has close to 3 million confirmed cases, and more than 52,000 new infections were reported just on Sunday.
It's not for me to comment on how deadly this pandemic is. And it's not for me to tell you how you should act and what you should wear over your face. We all have our own opinions, and until this is all over and enough time has passed, none of us will be in full possession of the facts. But what I do know is that it's incumbent upon me as a business owner to secure the companies that I've built so that my colleagues have jobs to come back to, so that they can provide for themselves and their families. This means personal sacrifice. It means a loss of personal income. It means I must be more than just a boss, a leader, or an entrepreneur. This is a defining moment, and I'll rightfully be judged for my actions. In what is the greatest challenge of our generation, I will discover whether or not I truly am unbreakable.
Yes, I remember this one very clearly because we finish at 7 o'clock in Patrick Henry. I tend to finish a bit later. I got home and I was laying on my bed watching the news when it was announced. And we were already prepared. So we had everything in place already. We had laptops ready to go. We had a idea of how we would organize ourselves to make sure that from day one of lockdown, we'd be able to function as normal as possible. The phones are diverted through to our mobiles. We already had the laptops, or we're going to take home the computers, the smaller computers, so that we had our emails and all the information that we needed. Obviously, there will be things that we can't remove from the office, or for security reasons we had to keep in the office, but that was just part of what we'd have to get around. The whole difficulty of the lockdown period was people losing their jobs, people being put on furlough, landlords struggling to pay their mortgages, not being sure about how much relief they'd get on their mortgages if people were to be made redundant or put on furlough. Because we're in such a mixed demographic-wise area, it meant that a lot of people went back home. So we had some students from Pakistan, for example, and before lockdown, they just came in here, just gave us their keys back and just said, yeah, sorry guys, but we're gonna have to leave. We're like, oh, okay, all right. And that happened a number of times. And there's people taking advantage of their break clauses, using their break clauses to move out, go back to their parents' house or go back home, which is completely understandable. But it meant that we were dealing with a lot of emotional situations, were very sensitive situations, as you can imagine. Probably spent more time being a counsellor through the whole of lockdown for Patrick Henry than doing anything else. But nothing dramatically negative happened to the business during that time. Sales didn't go through because solicitors weren't working. It took them ages to get back to work. New lets weren't happening because we were in lockdown, because people weren't moving. A few lets fell through because people weren't willing to move during the lockdown. When we already agreed the let, they weren't willing to complete the move, which is completely understandable again, and we found ways around that. So things really just paused. Apart from the emotional side of people and their financial situations, things really just paused. So I guess Patrick Henry was pretty well insulated. Am I ready for lockdown number 2? Yes, I've been ready since lockdown number 1. Everybody was talking about there'll be a second wave, there'll be a second lockdown, so I'm ready. The companies are ready, psychologically I'm ready. I'm prepared for what we've got to do. I know how I've got to support people in a certain way, and I'm prepared for it. This isn't a surprise to us. Don't think it should be a surprise to us, and I don't think it will be a surprise to a lot of people what's happening right now. Because of that, I'm ready, I'm prepared. Lockdown 2.0, bring it on.
According to local media, hospitals may reach capacity within 2 weeks, and there's an ongoing political debate about whether the state needs a stay-at-home order. Next, further west onto Arizona, infections there are rising rapidly. They've almost reached 100,000. Gyms, bars and cinemas have all been closed until the end of the month, and more than 5,000 people were admitted to hospital.
I'm probably going to get a lot of stick for saying this, but there's a part of me that really wanted lockdown, that wanted the adversity, that wanted that back against the wall moment. You know, a lot of people say this is our world war. We're not going to have another war in our time, touch wood. And this is a chance for me to prove who I was and for other people to be exposed for what they really are. And yeah, I made mistakes during that lockdown. I learned from them. But I also got a chance to step up to the mark and show people what I could be. And now, in this lockdown, I'm going to take that one step further. I'm going to take those mistakes that I made and improve on them. So this time I'm going to be better than last time. I'm going to be better for my friends, my colleagues, my family. I'm going to step up that one more level, that one more time. And hopefully this is the last time.
Lockdown this year was quite difficult for us. When the government put the country into full lockdown, we didn't, to begin with, have clarity about how that would affect our construction projects. After 6 weeks of us closing all of our projects down, we got clarity through and we realised that we could have our guys on site working because we were practicing safe social distancing on our projects where possible, and also we didn't have any of our clients in the buildings that we were working in, so we knew that we could carry on. Since then, we've been busy and we've been cracking on, trying to make the most and help everybody we can get their properties where they want to be.
Thanks for watching, guys. That's the end of episode 8 of the Unbreakable series. Now we're filming this one day before we go into lockdown 2.0. So everyone out there, please take care of yourselves, look after each other, take care of those that are sick, elderly and in need. And we're going to catch you very, very soon.